We're here with John Sansbury, Olentangy Liberty Patriots, the defending state champs in Division One, and moving on to round three, week 13 against Olentangy Orange, who's undefeated this season. And I appreciate you making time for us, Coach, as always, joining us with Storied Rivals. And I'm sure you're getting a lot of questions about, the 0-3 start to the season, and then you go on that 6-game winning streak. But I am curious, though. Because obviously you never want to start a season that way, and there's probably a lot of questions that you're trying to answer in your head about how to play better. But as you go on the 6-game winning streak and you end up playing for another league championship, which might have seemed unlikely at first, was there something about the team just needing to gel, or was there something specific that clicked for your team that you were able to turn it around and end up having a great regular season and play for another league championship?
I think a lot of things happen. I mean, like you said, nobody wants to start that way. We're definitely trying to win every game we play in. Um, but we had a really tough schedule, but especially early
Yeah.
on, Olentangy, Glenville, Gahanna, um, really tough teams. I mean, all the teams on our schedule are, and you lose 31 seniors last year. That's a lot of guys to replace, and those 31 seniors, like, they all played, and so we had obviously some things to figure out of who's going to play, where we should play certain guys, what's our best makeup of guys, what do they do best. We had replaced 3 coaches as well, so some new coaches and new roles. All of us kind of learning. Again, it's only my third year as a head coach, so
Right.
I'm learning too. And so obviously, kind of a lot of things happen, but I think the main thing was, we have 14 seniors. So we're pretty young, but our 14 seniors are really good leaders. And within those 14, there's a lot of 3-year starters and guys that have a lot of experience. And so lean on them. They did a great job keeping us together, not giving up, not starting to do their own thing and think about themselves only. They stayed completely bought into the team, which is huge. Obviously, we're going to go as far as our seniors take us, and young guys following them, and then us just figuring out what our guys do best, putting them in positions where they can use their strengths and their skills and allow them to make plays and be the best players they can possibly be. So it was a lot of things. It wasn't one thing. It wasn't like this aha thing, um,
Right.
but just kind of working towards that and just always working towards being the best team we can be.
Now, I remember being at the game week one, and you were kind of platooning at quarterback with Alex Leonard, who's been starting the majority of the season, and I believe it was Mason Miller was the other guy that was starting, and so you were kind of working through that the first couple weeks of the year. But now Alex has been the main guy starting at quarterback. He seems to have a great connection with Ben Godwin. Their connection really blossomed second half of the season. But what has he shown you as he's started at quarterback this year? Obviously, he's got great genes being the brother of Andrew, who graduated last year and had a great career. But what has he shown you this year as he's taken over this starting role?
Yeah, just high character guy, gritty, resilient. He's a 3-sport athlete. He's a hockey player. He's a pitcher in baseball and an infielder. So he's a good athlete. He's tough. He's competitive. He's selfless. He's humble. All these things you need from a leader and a quarterback. He's got a good arm. He's a big kid. He's 190. He's a great weight room guy. So he's a strong guy that he runs the ball pretty well too, whether it's scrambling or design runs. And we really started kind of doing that about halfway through the season, calling some more runs for him in particular. And so, yeah, he's done a great job. He's been everything we want. He has a great connection with Ben. Those two have a good relationship off the field as well. And so, he understands where Ben is, and he knows Ben can make plays and has done a lot of that. And Alex throws a good go ball. And Ben obviously likes those being called too.
Yeah.
So, no, Alex has been great as far as everything he's dealt with this year, and just keeps getting better every single week. He's a smart kid too, and so we kind of put a lot on him, and he's done a great job taking care of the football and everything you need from a quarterback. So yeah, I'm proud of him and kind of how he's handled this year and his leadership. And the good thing about him is he's only a junior too, so
Yeah.
that makes me excited as well because we're going to have him next year too.
Right. Now, what was the key to you matched up against Olentangy last week, who you played in week one, and obviously week one kind of feels like forever ago at this point, and both teams are, different now, and obviously you guys are playing much better football. But what was the key to shutting out Olentangy last week? Because their offense really throughout the entirety of the season, I mean, they were putting up points in bunches, one of the best offenses in the OCC, and obviously, they gave you guys some trouble in week one, but what was the key to really shutting them down the way you did?
Our defense has been great all year. My brother Chris Sansbury is the defensive coordinator, and he's got a great staff with our defensive back coach Nate Sitkach, our dog coach Drew Moore, D line coach Ryan Eby. Um, they're great teachers, and they motivate. They get our kids to play really hard, and they really get them to buy in. To just it doesn't really matter who gets the credit. It's about us. Do your job, and we will make the play. And doesn't necessarily matter who gets the tackles or the sacks and notoriety. They've done a good job of selling that, and our kids buy into it. And our kids play really hard and unselfish, and that makes a really good defense. And that's what they've been doing all year. And it just kind of really showed up when we needed it most, right? Week 12 of the season with the shutout and a defensive touchdown. And so, yeah, that was huge. And obviously, you're going to be pretty successful if you have a defense like that.
Yeah, and you'll need to step up again in a big way this week, taking on Orange, a team that you played against for the league championship, and really you played them close through almost three quarters. I think it was 7-7 in the third quarter at one point before Orange was able to pull away and they won 26-14. But because that game was so recent, and it was only a couple weeks ago, you kind of have I mean, it's all right there as far as changes that you need to make. It's not like it was Olentangy week one where, a lot of things could have changed or anything. It was only, a couple weeks ago. What changes kind of sit at the top of your mind as far as hanging with Orange through four quarters instead of 2.5 quarters, where maybe you convert on some red zone drives, in the fourth quarter, or you get a stop? Like what do you have to do to make those things happen against Orange this week?
Well, basic football stuff here where we got to play really good defense. We have to tackle
Hmm.
well and defeat blocks because they got a really good running back and quarterback. They get good receivers, good offense line, so really good offense. So defense will have their hands full and have a good challenge. We have to be solid on special teams. So, I mean, that was, we took advantage of some things week 10, but also that's been a big difference in us from week one, two, and three is we had a lot of special team mistakes early on, and we've done a lot better there with our players. And then offensively, you got to take care of the football, right? If you take care of the ball, move the ball, get first downs, take shots when there's opportunities there, good things are going to happen. We didn't take care of the ball real well, especially towards the end of the game, and we got to score in the red zone. So they made a mistake early on, which gave us another drive. We get down to the 10-yard line, make a few mental mistakes, which cost us, and then miss a field goal. And so against a good team, you got to take advantage of opportunities when they give them to you, and we didn't necessarily do that. So a lot of things that we can do better and take care of, and that's what we're working on. Obviously, even though it only was a few weeks ago, it's kind of a unique challenge of, all right, what are we going to change? What do we think they're going to change? What have we seen? They've only played um, just the one game since because they had the bye. So
Right.
we have the one film, they have two films. So probably not a whole lot they're going to do, but they're going to look at our film and make some changes and try and take advantage of stuff. And so we just got to be ready for that.
Yeah, no, like you said, a couple plays away from maybe winning that game if you just clean up a few things. And I'm sure it's going to be an outstanding game to watch on Friday, Coach. And I appreciate you making time for us, joining us for 10 minutes this morning, man. And best of luck against Orange and the rest of the way in your playoff run.
Appreciate you guys. Thanks for having me on, and thanks for what you guys do for high school football and our players.